Hello everyone and welcome to day 3 of my journey to 40. And I'm wearing a fun hat today. This is actually a hat that I randomly picked up, and this is the coolest feature of it. I love this thing. It actually is very practical for me right now because we have no electricity in the yurt yet. So still in my friend's house. We do have a wood stove in the yurt, so we have heat. We don't have electricity yet. The solar is getting finished, the installation on January 2nd. So we will have electricity then, but until then, this is actually my reading light. So that is something that I wanted to talk to you. You know, that's probably very distracting for you guys. There we go. Something that I wanted to talk to you about today in terms of implementing healthy habits. That's hard to say after a long day. But before I get to that, I think something that is important to mention, if you are following along and starting to think about or are actually implementing some of the things that I'm talking about and doing, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. What I mean by that is, don't feel as though it's necessary to do all of these little changes all of the time, because if a lot of this stuff is new, it can be very overwhelming. So I will be getting into goal setting. I will be getting into nutrition and meditation and physical fitness and all of these sorts of things that are already a part of my lifestyle. And so there will be a lot of things that I am revisiting, re-implementing, that might be brand new for you. So too much change can be overwhelming. So if you are finding right now that just focusing on drinking water is more than enough for you and you just kind of want to stick with that for a week, do that. Do that until you are comfortable with the amount of water that you are drinking and it's not something that you have to focus on and think about all the time. And then maybe you can move on to implementing a new healthy habit. So, having said that, the healthy habit that I am looking at revisiting, which I've already been doing and I really missed, is reading. So I would say that when, I don't even know when we got our TV, but we had a TV in our last place that we lived in for 3.5 years, and it became a distraction. It very easily became a distraction. It became too easy to sit on the couch at the end of a long day and watch a show on Netflix or watch a game or that sort of thing, and it really became a, I don't want to say a time waster, because I do enjoy watching baseball every now and then, and it was nice to have some quality time with Marta and just kind of cuddle on the couch and watch a show. So I would definitely not say that those times were wasted, but let's say it's a time consumer or a time eater. I'm very scared to think, and I don't think I'm gonna do it to myself, but you know, if we were to look on Netflix and see how many hours we spent watching shows, I think it would be shocking. And it's kind of sad because I feel like that took over doing a lot of healthier, better things for us. And so we got rid of our TV. A lot of people think we're crazy. A lot of people think we're depriving our kids. Trust me, we're not. I'm not gonna miss the TV. I already don't. We don't have the TV in the yurt. It's back to books. And I honestly have an entire bookshelf full of some wonderful books that I'm really excited to get reading. And the one that I'm enjoying a lot right now, which I feel like might be beneficial for a lot of people who are new to meditation. I'm not new to meditation, but I was always a little, I don't know if skeptical is the right word, but hesitant, resistant. That's maybe a better way to put it. Which I think is kind of ironic, considering that years ago Marta started teaching that kind of stuff when she was doing Kundalini yoga. But this book I actually came across through Rich Roll's podcast, and he interviewed the author of this book, and it is Meditation for Fidgety Skeptics by Dan Harris. This is not a plug by any means. I've never met Dan. I'd love to one day. He seems like a really cool dude. But this book, pardon me, just really breaks down quite nicely some ways that you can implement meditation into your life to be able to manage your life better. For me, it's stress and anxiety. Those are big things that just, I find, envelop and consume me. And this helps give me the tools to be able to deal with that. And so in today's focus, in talking about implementing healthy habits and implementing time to read, this is also something that I will delve into in a future episode, talking about meditation. And I'll do some meditation with you. And it is something that that is extremely helpful. So before I go, I just want to be clear on what my focus is with the reading. Because in past years, and it's always around this time of year too, that as we get into New Year's or New Year's resolutions, and you know, I've fallen victim of setting those goals and then falling short, because I'm a type A personality. I want to do everything and I want to do it yesterday. So I set huge lofty goals and don't put any plans in place, and of course don't follow through. And I can't remember when it was, but one year I thought, I'm going to read a book a week. Well, that's a pretty ambitious goal, especially if you haven't been reading much at all prior to that, especially if you are doing 1,001 other things, which I am. So I feel like the goal of reading a book a week is unrealistic, and I probably stuck with it for 5 or 6 weeks, and then I picked up a book that there's no way I was going to finish in a week. It was too dense. It made me think too much, and I made notes, and it was an interesting book. But you can see right there that the joy of reading and the things that we benefit as a result of reading all of a sudden weren't my focus anymore. It was just to read a certain number of books. And for me, that's not what I'm wanting to do. My goal is to read every day, even if it's a page. Because let's be honest, if I can pick up a book and read a page, if it's a good book, there's a chance I'm going to read more than one page. But even if I don't have any time, or I feel like I don't have any time, but I take 5 minutes at the end of my day to read a page out of a book, that's a page of information, of knowledge, of creativity, of fiction, of whatever it is that I didn't have in my brain 5 minutes prior to that. And that is something that I think is beneficial, because I'm stimulating my brain, I'm stimulating new growth, and I'm following through on a goal. And so I'm going to leave you with that. So if you want to leave a comment down below, how about you tell me what your favorite book is? Because maybe I will be looking for some books to read, and would love your input on what your favorite books are. So that is it for today for my journey to 40. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.